Hi, welcome to my Neofinetia falcata update. I repotted some of these this year, and I think I overpotted them. So initially they were doing well because I guess they were in fresh moss, but I've had some setbacks on some of them, but mostly is that so far none have bloomed so far this year. So anyways, it's just to give you an idea of what they look like, what I have. I've probably featured a few of these in some past videos. So I'll start off with the ones on the right. The two, this one and the other one in the back, are Benihime. And this division here hasn't bloomed yet, but the one in the back has. It bloomed last August. And this one has, well, it's a real cakey maker. I've been able to give this to a few others here in Canada, including Orchidea and Lucy the cat. Well, indirectly anyways. So yeah, it's a good grower. The flowers are pink and they're fragrant. And this one bloomed for me in August, but I suspect it might bloom earlier for some people. So okay, so moving on over here. This is coca. This is a seedling that I got from Orchidea. I actually had two and I lost one this year. I think it was overpotted. I mean, I had it in a pot that was, I don't know, it was maybe in a pot this size, but it had lots of roots. So I figured it would work out, but it didn't. So it's a bit wobbly in the pot because I want to leave the crown open. I want to see what's going on with the roots. So this was freshly repotted yesterday. So, and this is supposed to have yellow flowers. Yeah. So behind there is recent purchase, as in this year, and I also repotted it because it wasn't doing so well. It was wrapped in some fancy moss, but I started losing some lower leaves. This is Hisui, and I also bought another one in the order called Humaden, and that one died so quickly I didn't even get a chance to save it, but it seemed to have died in the same manner. So it's too bad because it had a spike, and this one is too young to bloom, I would think, but it will have supposedly green flowers. This one is Shoujo, and again, this is one that came to me directly from me. I gave a division of this plant to Orchidea, and then I lost my plant. And so she gave me some nice divisions, and the plant is growing well, but I think it's just, this one hasn't been repotted since spring, but I think that it's just, I think there's just too much moss, and I think it's staying wet for too long. And I've probably over-fertilized these. So if you follow Orchidea's channel, you know that she doesn't use a lot of fertilizer. And these probably got Vanda fertilizer, which is probably around 250, 300 parts per million. And this moss just absorbs all this fertilizer and doesn't really let go of it, even if you soak it in distilled water. So I think that's what the problem is. This one here is one of my original purchases with Benihime. This is Asihaden, and this is the only plant that's ever bloomed twice for me. It's not growing very much. I mean, it was doing well initially when I first repotted it, But again, I've chopped off a lot of the moss that was in here, taken off at least half of it. And maybe if it has, maybe if it's in fresh moss and has a chance to dry in between waterings, it'll do better. It's too late for it to bloom this year, but maybe next year. But in the meantime, it did grow a keiki instead of a flowering, so that's okay. I want this plant to expand anyways. So, this has white flowers. Moving on, this is a division I got from Orchidea, and I'll just show you the tag because I'm not going to try to pronounce that. It's been doing okay. It's not a fast grower, but it's doing okay. I'm just going to repot it. I mean, I think there's just too much moss in here. And just to freshen it up, I'm just going to use fresh moss, and hopefully the plant will respond well. I mean, I'm not expecting this guy to bloom this year. So, and I'll leave this guy for last. Yeah, just to tell you, you could see at the bottom of the pot here, I think that's salt accumulation. So I think that's probably a sign that there's just too much salts. I'll show you the tag. Oops. So I'm not pronouncing that, but that's another division that came from Orchidea. And I don't remember which one, but one of them didn't have active roots, but both of the tall pots have active roots. So this root's probably not active, but this is active, and I've been kind of trying to stick it in there. There's another active root, so I think there could be more active roots, and I think this is the problem. And I also used some fish emulsion on this. I had a relatively low TDS. It was like 125, 150. But for some strange reason, this plant didn't like it. It got these little brown marks. I mean, the new leaves are clean, but yeah, I don't know. I've done something wrong. Anyways, the next one is Kega, and Orchidea featured this one in her last video for the Neofinetia falcata care collab videos series. And well, at least I understand why my division is green, because it came from the green side of the plant. So, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to Orchidea's videos, the one that she did recently, and she explains Kega and how it grows. So, and this one too has some active roots, and there's no white marks on this pot. I don't know, they're fertilized in the same manner, so I don't know what that's all about. But this root seems to have a live tip. I think I might have had tried to stick that in there. Yeah. But the plants are doing fine. I mean, they're doing okay. They're growing, but I think they could be doing much better than they actually are. And so I'm going to repot most of these, except for the tall pots. I think those I'm just gonna not fertilize as much. And the one I'm leaving last is Unami Sekai. And yeah, the plant doesn't look like it's doing much, but, and I won't be able to show you very well in this light, but over here, in between here, there's something growing. Yeah, I think it's there. Yeah, I can't show you in this light, and I apologize, but I know there's a little something coming out somewhere. Yeah, it's there. but I just can't show it to you in this light. It's just not very good. But I think it might be trying to flower. So I haven't seen it move very much in the last week or so, but I'm hoping that it does something. It's got a root coming out from the bottom, so I don't know. We'll see. I know a lot of orchideas plants, her Neofinetias, are now spiking and have already flowered. So, but we have very different windowsill conditions. So I might have lost a little bit of my way with these, but I don't think it's too late to save them. So anyways, at least I'm photographing what they look like now, and maybe I'll see some improvement in the next few months. So thank you for watching, and happy growing.